Hey everyone! In today's video, we are going to talk about the topic that's important for parents and guardians alike: putting a phone under parental supervision. Whether it's managing screen time, restricting certain apps, or monitoring online activities, parental control features can help ensure a safer and more balanced digital experience for kids. So, let's start. In the beginning, I'm going to show how you can set up parental controls on an iOS-based systems. Should your child or supervisee have an iPhone or an iPad, as long as, it runs an iOS system, this method should work. So first, take your child's device, or for the sake of simplicity, I will refer to child's device as an iPhone. Take the child's iPhone, launch the settings, and here enter the screen time category. First thing that you will need to do is to activate the screen time. Now go into lock screen time settings and set up the screen time passcode. Of course, it goes without saying that the child does not need to know about this passcode, or to put it in other words, shouldn't know the passcode, shouldn't know this password, since if they will know the passcode, it will not be hard for them to bypass or circumvent those parental controls and restrictions you've set up. So yeah, make sure to set up the password that your child, or should I say, make sure to use the password that your child doesn't know. So I'll go with a very simple password here, but yeah, you should really try to, set a complicated passcode here. Now, this is optional, but I highly recommend that you sign into your parental Apple ID here. So in case you will forget the passcode, you could recover the screen time controls through your Apple ID. But I will skip this step for now, since I do not need it. Now, once the screen time passcode is set, we can begin configuring parental controls. So here you can activate the apps and website activity, and once active, you will see the screen time information. You can set up the downtime schedule, so here you can enable the block at downtime option, making sure that your child's device will be blocked once, the downtime schedule is set, of course. Here, set up what schedule you would like to allow your child to use the phone in. You can also select or change the schedule in accordance with the day of the week. So let's say you will allow your child to use their phones less during the weekdays, and during the weekend they will get a little more screen time. Or that's what people would do typically. You can also set up particular app limits. So here, if you were to set up the limit for TikTok app, for example, just select what app you would like to set a limit for, or what category of apps you would like to set a limit for, since as you can see, all those apps are very conveniently categorized, and you can, select entire categories of apps rather than, particular applications. So I'll personally go with a TikTok for now. Now select how much time you allow your child to use a TikTok daily. Should it be an hour, 30 minutes, or a few hours? I think it's safe to set it at 1 hour every day. That's fine. And now you have the usage limit for the TikTok here. What you can also do is select apps that will be always allowed, even once your child has run out of screen time and the phone is blocked. Obviously, you should include the most important and crucial safety apps here, so your child, in case of emergency, can contact you or somebody else that they can get an assistance from. So obvious choice is phone. You cannot even change it. It will always be active. That's the way Apple designed it. And now you can choose what other apps you would like to be always active and for your child to always have an access to, even when the child used all their screen time for today. You can also enable the screen distance warning, and once enabled, as you can read from here, if your child will sit too close to the screen, she or he will get a respective warning that they should use their phone, use their device at a safe distance. Moving on, here we have the communication limits as well. So you can, decide whether your child will be able to communicate to everyone or to contacts only, or groups with at least one contact in it. So if your child, for example, will be added to the sketchy or dangerous group chat, they will not be able to, be there and use it, of course. What else do we have here? You also have the communication safety. Once enabled, all materials that your child will receive before reaching the child actually will be checked automatically, of course, for nudity or just explicit content in general. And if the media that your child is going to receive is safe, they will get it. If not, they will not get it, respectively. You can also access the child safety resources from here and enable or disable the improved communication safety. That is essentially an option for sharing diagnostic data. So if you feel safe sharing, or you feel safe that your child is going to be sharing their data with Apple, you can enable that option. The most important or the most interesting thing here is content and privacy restrictions, and once enabled, you are able to restrict and tailor all those things here. So for example, you can go into the content restrictions and ban explicit content, forcing everything that your phone is going to, or rather your child is going to go through, to be clean version of things. Here you can also change those limitations separately for music, podcast, news, fitness, music videos, movies, and so on. So just set up all those things here. The thing that I also recommend to restrict for your child is web content. So make it, either limit adult websites, or you can just block all your websites except from list of exceptions here, or a list of allowed web services. So that's up to you, depending on how strict you would like for your parental limitations to be here. You can also add a never allow website, and just once again manage all those preferences and customize them. You can also change those restrictions for Siri and games. Then you also have privacy toggles here. For example, you can restrict your child from sharing their microphone permission, photos permission, or rather changing those things here. So if you won't allow those changes, so you'll set any of those things to don't allow, the child will not be able to, share those things from now on, but the apps and services that already have those accesses will retain them, should I say. And also another allow changes list. And here, that's would be more or less it. You can change the passcode by tapping over here and, changing your passcode, of course. And you can disable parental controls once you no longer need them. As long as, you know the passcode, or you remember the passcode. So, moving on, let me also show how you can set up parental controls on an Android smartphone. So, if your child or your offspring owns an Android smartphone, or the device that runs Android system, you will need to start by launching settings on your phone or tablet, then enter the Google category. Here, find the All Services page, and then open the parental controls. Now here, select child or teenager option in the who will be using this device. Then sign into your child's Google account, or log into your child's Google account. So here, tap at this button And now enter your child's Google account credentials. Now select the child's Google account from this menu here. Then tap at the Continue button and sign into your parental Google account next, or into your account, Google account that you will supervise your child from. So let me also enter my credentials off the camera real quick. So once you have successfully logged into your parental Google account, you'll be on the About Supervision page, so scroll all the way down, and then confirm this step, or confirm that you would like to continue, by entering the child's Google account password here. At the pop-up window that follows, allow the supervision, wait until parental and child accounts will be linked. Once they are, we can pretty much wrap up the setup on the child's end, on the child's phone. There are a few optional steps to follow, but you can just skip them since they do not offer any unique steps. You will be able to change and set up all those preferences later on. So I think there is no need to stop ourselves now. So we are all set on the child's end once again. Now take your phone or device that you will supervise your child's digital activity from. So here is mine. Then launch the Play Store and install the Google Family Link app. So once again, here is the Google Play Store. Look for Family Link app by Google. Here it is. Let me uninstall it real quick. So tap at the install button and now wait. Launch the app once it is installed. Make sure to sign in using your parental Google account. So here either select it from this list or sign into it. And well, that will be more or less it, or at least it should be. So automatically the child's phone or account should be here. I've used the correct Google account, so that is strange. We are having difficulties here. Maybe that's the software bug or something like that. So let me quickly figure it out and I'll get back to you guys. So as you can see, my issue has been solved, and the issue was that I've mixed up parental Google account and signed into a wrong one. So don't be like me, be more attentive and make sure to log into the Google Family Link app on your parental device using correct parental account you have used during the setup on the child's end. And from here you can now lock your child's device whenever you please. Here you can set up daily usage limits, set custom days, all days, that's up to you. You can add or configure the downtime schedule, so making it so that, for example, your child will not be able to use their device after 9 p.m. You can also enable or set limits for particular apps. Let's use the same TikTok example. Or I'm actually not sure if I have TikTok installed on this phone, but that doesn't matter. Let's go with Dolby app. So here you can either block this app entirely, always allow it, making it always accessible even when the child's device is locked, or you can set a time limit, for example 30 minutes daily. And now you have it. You can also set up content restrictions here for Google Play, YouTube, Google Chrome, Google Search, Google Assistant, and all other apps that support this feature, or that support the restrictions by Google Family Link. As a parent, you can also check devices if you have multiple supervisees to look after. You can also monitor your child's location by entering the location section and setting it up here. Anyway, what else do we have here? Yeah, we have the usage highlights. This section will provide you with the most important information about your child's activity and phone usage, so you will know what your supervisee is simply up to. And well, as far as this video goes, that'll be it, guys. So I guess thanks for watching. If you have any questions or just have anything to say in general, do not hesitate to use the comment section below. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.